Hi, we're here today at the Fairfield University to find out what people at this school really know about paper and its true costs. We're going to see if they know about the upstream, the downstream costs, the ability to use alternative sources to paper, and see how recycling really has affected them, whether they know how much it affects the world. Now, there are multiple environmental problems that are caused by paper, and we want to see if these students actually know them.
Okay, I'm here with Fairfield professor Sean Rafalski. I'm a math professor here. Now, Sean, I have a couple questions for you regarding paper. Do you know how many pounds of paper in terms of tons the United States consumes every year?
Tons of paper.
Tons of paper every single year.
I have no idea. Should I guess?
Give me a number. You're a math professor. You're pretty good with this stuff.
I would say billions of tons.
Billions. Okay.
10 billion tons.
10 billion tons?
Sure.
Okay. Now, how many tons of paper does the world consume every single year?
Can I modify my previous
Yes.
answer? I'm going to say the world consumes billions of tons. And then maybe the United States, it's got to be a large portion of that. I'm going to say 500 million tons.
Okay. Now, what are some of the costs that go into paper? So, like when you see paper, when you're buying package of paper at the store, what do you see when you buy that paper?
So I'm not sure I understand the question.
So like, what do you see as the cost of the paper? Is it just what you see on the price tag? What makes your decision when you're buying paper? Is it the recycled paper? Say there's recycled paper and then regular paper. Recycled paper is going to be a little more. Why is it a little more? Do you want to go into detail if you would buy the recycled paper or the regular paper?
I mean, I would typically go towards buying recycled paper just because I think it's a little bit more environmentally friendly. I'm willing to pay more of a cost because I understand that it's probably more costly to go through the recycling and reclaiming process that goes into recycling than it is to just take raw wood materials and turn them into paper. But that's something that I'm willing to do. I certainly have recognized that. I don't buy a lot of paper, but the paper, when I do buy paper at the office supply store, I gravitate towards the stuff that's more environmentally friendly.
Okay. Now, being a somewhat informed consumer, do you know any of the environmental impacts from paper and the process of paper and everything?
I certainly know that it takes a lot of wood to even just generate a page of say printer paper. I don't know exactly how much, but I know that the forestry industry requires a lot of raw materials, and so the cost of the environment, I mean, it's quite high. I mean, there's no question. I think there's a balance in terms of, I mean, well, it's just like with anything, any resource. If you have regions that are devoted to producing the raw materials, I mean, if you're just growing trees, cutting them down, growing trees, cutting them down, I mean, this is somewhat of a natural process. When the demand for paper goes sort of beyond what's reasonable for that kind of farming, though, I think is when it becomes a little bit of a problem, and where the recycling paper comes into play.
Okay. And also, one last question: are you aware of any like alternatives to paper, in terms of like different types of paper that we can use that are more sustainable?
I'm actually not aware of anything like that. I certainly see our society as going in a direction where we're going to be much more paper-free than we have been. There are some things that probably just still require paper, but just when I think about my daily life in the office, like in business, doing what I do day to day, there are some things that I can't replace right now. But anytime there's say documents related to meetings that I have to attend, I'm able to keep those documents electronically on my computer and not print them out. And I mean, sometimes you're talking about, you know, documents with dozens of pages attached to them, and so if I'm printing those out, then that's sort of a little bit of a waste. In terms of what I do personally, the future of the classroom, where there's quite a bit of paper consumption, especially in mathematics, which requires a lot of scratch work and that kind of thing. This I see sort of tablet technology as just being able to replace this in a very, very short order, and so I'm actually looking forward to that, and as something that will cut down on the environmental impact of the sort of the paper industry.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Sean.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Pleasure having you.
Here again with another Fairfield resident, Ellen Hayes. Now, Ellen, how much paper do you think that the U.S. uses annually?
A lot.
A lot.
Like, in terms of what?
In
Like
terms
stacks of paper? How many sheets of paper?
How many tons of paper do you think that the U.S. uses annually?
Probably 3.
3 tons?
Yes.
Okay. Now, put that in the world's perspective. How much paper do you think that the whole world uses each year?
300 tons.
300 tons?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
$52,000 this school costs. Now, I'd like to add another question. How much of an environmental impact do you think the production of paper has?
Negatively?
How much does it harm the environment?
Hugely.
Hugely.
Yes.
Would you care to be more specific?
I think that. Are we talking about in terms of the world or just the university?
The world.
I think that the recycling of paper is minimal and it can be used more. And I also think that we use way too much paper on useless things.
It's a very good answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, would you, if you found out that paper that you were going to use for your notebook or just printed paper was recycled beforehand, would you be more prone to using that or paper that you knew was fresh?
And it was blank,
Yes.
I would use that.
Use recycled paper?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Because it's better for the environment?
Yeah, because it's better for the environment. It doesn't harm anything. It's already been used, so it can't hurt anything else. That's my reason.
It's a very good reasoning. Thank you very much. Hi, I'm here again with another Fairfield student, Sebastian Dumlin. Now, Sebastian, how much paper do you think that the U.S. uses annually?
In terms of what, like pounds or just like random?
Tons of tons, pounds, whatever you feel more
Probably a
comfortable.
few 100,000 tons.
300,000 tons, okay. Now, when you put that to the whole world, how much do you think, or how many tons of paper do you think they use annually?
Compared to the whole world,
The whole world, everybody.
everybody probably a billion tons.
Billion tons?
That's a
A
lot.
fair answer.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Think of all those trees.
It's a shitload of trees. Crap of trees.
We'll beep that out.
Yeah.
Now, if you found out that there was alternatives
Mhm.
to making paper, such as cotton, instead of using trees, would you use that paper even if it was more expensive?
Depending on how more expensive it was. If it was, I guess, reasonably priced compared to the paper, sure. But if it's, I don't know, 10 times as much, 20 times as much, probably not.
That seems fair. I don't think many people would if it was that much more expensive. You're right. Now, on the regular, how much do you recycle?
If there's a recycling bin, I try to recycle whenever I do use paper. But it depends if there is one or not.
If there isn't one, do you look for one, or do you just
I'll
throw
look
it-
around for it, but I won't make it a mission to go out and recycle paper.
That seems what most people do anyway. I know, that's what I do mostly too. Thank you for your time, Sebastian.
Absolutely.